For the cable curl and staggered stance cable curl, which I'm going to go through both today, the setup is the most important part. I say that about so many exercises because it is true, but on this is what I see get wrong the most, is the setup. So whenever you're setting up for the cable curl, you want to make sure that when you pull this cable down in a crunch, the line of pull is pretty straight, which means I'm not pulling at an angle here. Whenever I'm going down to crunch, I'm really pulling that cable in a straight line down. You also want to make sure that your knees aren't so far in that you're just dropping your hips, because this is not a crunch. You want to have your knees far enough back so that you can open the torso up in this fixed position, right? This fixed elbow flex position. You can open that torso and then crunch down into the floor all the way. Notice that when I do this, my knees are in a good position, my feet are on the floor, and I am crunching down. I'm not crunching in and dropping my hips. So my butt is not moving backwards. I come up, I grab, I've got a nice flexed elbow position, holding, maintaining the whole time. I come down, I brace for a second, I come all the way up, I come down, I brace for a second, I come all the way up. Really important too that you load this heavy enough. A lot of people don't load this heavy enough and they feel really unstable in it because it's genuinely just too light. When you come down and you crunch, squeeze for a second, and don't rush this exercise. This is one that you want to take your time in, give yourself some time to experiment, explore the movement, the position, the tempo, so that it feels good for you. And for staggered stance, all you're doing is going to take that normal knee position and you're going to drive one leg back. It just needs to be 6 or so inches behind the front knee, and you're going to do the exact same thing, elbow flexed, coming down, straight line, crunching, bracing, coming all the way up, coming down, straight line, crunching, bracing, coming all the way up. Same on the other side. Coming down, crunching, bracing, all the way up. Notice I don't lose my elbow position here, and I don't excessively flare my chest or drive my butt back at all. I'm still keeping this slightly hunched upper back so that I can keep my rib cage stacked over my pelvis. I'm in a good stable position to then get the crunch. If when you're at the top of the rep you do flare a little bit before then bracing and crunching, that's totally fine. Some people like that additional little stretch, but even if you're doing that, let's say you do stretch a little bit, it's still important you come back to this this T-spine flexed position and then go into the crunch bracing. And that is how to properly do a cable crunch and a staggered stance cable crunch.